Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is September 3rd, and please turn to page 11 in your magazines. And today we have an article about a fascinating creature of the ocean.
的确，这个是非常非常有趣的一个动物哈。那海里的动物啊，我们将要谈的是什么呢？
Our title is Octopuses, More Interesting Than You Think. Now, you notice that this is a plural form of the word octopus, and I bet most people know this word for some reason. I think it's a word we pick up early in our English learning. When I was young, we were supposed to use the plural form octopi. Now, that is not really itself a very valid plural because they're using a Latin plural. But pus comes from Greek word for foot, which is pod, and it should be octopodes or something like that. So even at the time when we used an irregular plural, it was not a historically accurate plural in the first place. But what has happened in recent decades, say in the past 50 years or more, we have been regularizing more and more of what were originally irregular plurals in English, and octopus is one of them. So we went from octopi, O-C-T-O-P-I, to octopuses. Now, at first it sounded funny because I was used to octopi, but now we're getting used to it. A similar example is cactus, 仙人掌, which used to be just cactus and cacti, but now people say cactuses. So I think it's fine because all those irregular plurals were just kind of a little extra trouble. You have to remember these special plurals. If they're all regular, it's easier to remember.
好，所以刚刚 Kara 老师这里告诉各位，就是活生生的英文演变的历史啊。因为很多英文的外来语呢，它或者是它字根原来是这个希腊或罗马的字呢，有的时候它的这个单复数是不规则的，好像这个 octopus 这个章鱼，好，这个 OCTO 就是8的意思啊。那其实就 October 10月，那个原来它是8月啊，可是后来因为历史的一些原因，后来变得原来的8月。现在变成10月了哈，但 anyway 这个 octo 就是8，那后面的 pus 就是脚。好，那 Karen 老师讲小时候他的这个字呢，这个复数呢，他们是学 octopi 啊，那听起来就是一个不规则的变化。但是现在呢，越来越多啊，这个英文已经演变到越来越规则化了哈，所以名词已经越来越规则化了啊，有一些本来不规则的变化，现在变得规则了。那这个title 呢，中文的这个我们的标题是章鱼啊，身怀绝技的海底智慧王啊。那当然中文给我们比较多的讯息，那英文也蛮有趣，他说就是 more interesting than you think 啊，这比你想象的章鱼这个生物呢，比你想象的还要更有趣。那我们看看有什么有趣的东西。
Before we do that, I want to point out a little pronunciation issue. Watch out for a word that ends with N and the next one starts with U or a Y sound.Because a lot of people will say, than you think. Now, you may think there's nothing wrong with that, but it sounds like you're missing, and you are, in fact, missing the final N. N 的时候，你的舌尖要碰到你的齿龈. So a lot of Taiwanese will say, than you think, but it should be than you think.Than you think. 你的那个舌尖一定要碰到齿龈才算念对了. So watch out for that little thing. It's easy to miss.All right, so our title, Octopus is More Interesting Than You Think. Now, it's been a long time now that people have found out that octopuses are, in fact, very, very smart. And as for me personally, I have just never believed all this stuff I was told since I was little, that, well, animals don't have a soul, so it's okay if you kill them. Or animals don't have human emotions. Or some people have even said in the past, for hundreds of years, animals don't feel pain. I knew all of those were wrong. From the time I was a little kid, I thought, how can you say these things? You just want to justify people eating meat, or you want to justify being cruel to animals, but it's not because you think that animals don't feel pain. You can hear them cry. And it's not because you think they don't have emotions. Otherwise, why are cats and dogs so popular? And they're not unusual. Other animals have emotions, much like cats and dogs. So those arguments were never, ever convincing.And as for intelligence, when you interact with an animal face to face, you often found out they are very clever or they would not have survived.
好，所以这个就我想这种说法，现在可能很多人还觉得是这样子，就以为动物不会思考，他们没有灵魂，他们也不会觉得痛。那其实会这样子说呢，很多时候是为了让人们减轻吃这些动物的时候的罪恶感啊。不过呢，我想大家都可以，我们 凭自己的经验，凭科学的研究都知道动物它是会痛的，那很多动物它也是会思考的，它也是有感情的，那你只要跟它互动之后，你就会发现原来它是有它的智慧，有它的好玩的地方啊。那猫跟狗当然是人类的宠物，但是其实还有很多动物，我想很多人都知道，很多人会养一些就我们没有想到的宠物。为什么他们把它当宠物？因为他们也发现这些动物其实它是有智慧的。
Recently, I saw a video of a little girl who was very close to a python, 蟒蛇, a very, very long, a very, very fat yellow python. And they were interacting in a very tender and affectionate way. And some people say, well, snakes don't form bonds. You could not say that after watching this video. The snake would kind of wrap itself around the girl in a kind and gentle way, and the girl would pet it, and it would look at the girl. You cannot look at that and say that animals don't have feelings. So anyway, as for that, it's good that people are finally changing their view of animals in this area.
Yeah.
All right, let's just jump right into our article. Though they might seem like dreadfully mindless monsters, octopuses are among Earth's most fascinating creatures. Far more than just squishy eight-legged beasts that creep across the ocean floor looking for food, octopuses possess many interesting qualities and are much smarter than they appear. Indeed, Octopus intelligence is something scientists have been studying for many years. Octopuses are widely considered to be the most intelligent of all invertebrates, animals without a backbone or bony skeleton. They are able to learn from experience and have excellent short and long-term memories. They can solve complex problems, such as opening a jar while trapped inside it, and often think up interesting games to play when they are bored. Also of note is that each of an octopus's 8 arms has a mind of its own. For example, their arms can open clamshells, while the octopus itself is busy searching a cave for more food. Their arms are also covered in powerful suckers, which have the ability to taste whatever they are touching. Another interesting fact about octopuses is that they have 3 hearts and blue blood. Their blood, which is copper rather than iron-based, is more efficient at transporting oxygen when water temperatures drop. Perhaps even more interesting is that octopuses often crawl or walk along the ocean floor instead of swimming, which takes up far more energy. If you've never seen an octopus in the wild, it may be due to their amazing camouflage abilities. Octopuses can change the color of their skin to match their environment. If this doesn't keep them hidden from predators, they can also spray a toxic ink that blinds and confuses anyone that might pose a threat. I found this article fascinating. Now, I pay attention to animals, and octopuses have been in the news a lot lately about, for example, that octopus that escaped from a laboratory through the drain. You know right away they're smart. I knew it anyway, but after that you think, man, you should not be treating these as dumb creatures that we can just do anything we want with and destroy without any thought at all.
Yeah, 好，这个章鱼现在人们对他们的智力越来越感到刮目相看哈。那这个天老师刚刚提到，我也有注意到那个新闻哈。那个有一只章鱼呢，自己从这个研究室、从实验室自己逃脱啊，而且是从水管里面逃脱啊。那这个我是对这个章鱼的伪装技术啊非常的佩服啊。他们在海底的时候，他们可以伪装的跟周围的环境一模一样，还连那个 texture 都可以模仿。它可以把它那个皮肤弄得好像是岩石一样粗糙啊，然后这个尖尖的啊等等的，你完全看不出来它是章鱼，非常的厉害。
I want to throw in something here from a book that I read some years ago that I really, really liked. It's called something like The Intelligence of All Living Beings. And the author's assumption or his theory is that all animals have an equal amount of intelligence. It's just that some of it is encoded in our instincts and in our reflexes. And for humans, more of it is encoded in our conscious brain. But in the end, we have an equal amount of intelligence because we've all survived in this world. So the intelligence of all living beings. So maybe more of their intelligence is encoded in their reactions, but many of them also have quite powerful brains to think.
好，所以 Karen 老师提到那本书呢，啊，这个作者观点很有趣啊。他说，这个所有的生物都是一样聪明啊，只是 除了人的聪明呢是放到脑袋里面去的，我们会去思考比较多那其他动物的聪明呢比较多会放到直觉里面去那他们比较不去思考，可是他们也很聪明，他们的直觉也非常的厉害。好，那我想现在更多的例子有的这个嗅觉或者感知能力特别强连鲨鱼它的感官能力都非常的强，所以不同的各种不同的聪明。
Right, and the part that is reflex and the part that is conscious thought 比例不同而已。
Yeah, 比例不同 Yeah.
All right, back to our first paragraph. Though they might seem like dreadfully mindless monsters, octopuses are among Earth's most fascinating creatures.
好，虽然呢 they 就是指这些章鱼，他们 might 也许seem like 好像是 dreadfully mindless 那 dreadfully 这个字呢，它其实有两个意思，一个就是用来加强语气的extremely 的意思，另外一个 dreadfully 呢，它也有点恐怖的意思所以这里我觉得两个都有一点点那种感觉。
Especially when it's an adjective. You know, it was a dreadful sight. It's really scary. It really frightens you. But when we use it as an adverb, it usually just means extremely.
OK 好，所以呢，这个如果是形容词的话，我们刚刚讲的两个意思都会有那如果是副词的话呢，一般来讲还是把它解释成为 extremely 所以这地方我们就把它解释成为 extremely 所以这个看起来好像是非常的 mindless， 就是没有头脑的这个 mind 是有心智 less 就是没有，所以就是没有头脑的，
就是盲目的去做事，
lacking intelligence， 或者是没有什么 reason， 没有办法这个思考等等The monster 我们觉得它是没有头脑的这个怪物但是呢它其实是 among 是在什么之中，它是在什么之中呢？在地球上最有趣最令人着迷的生物之中， creatures 就是生物， fascinating 就是令人着迷的。
Far more than just squishy, eight-legged beasts that creep across the ocean floor looking for food, octopuses possess many interesting qualities and are much smarter than they appear.
好 ，far more than 什么什么就远远不止，他们远远不是只有怎么样 squishy 就是软趴趴的 soft spongy 好像那个海绵一样软趴趴的这样子他们不只是这种软趴趴的，然后是八脚的 eight-legged 的 beasts 就是野兽他们不是说只有这个软趴趴的八脚野兽，然后这种野兽怎么样？在 creep 就是爬行在哪里爬行呢？在海底爬行across the ocean floor 干嘛 ？Looking for food 去觅食所以他们不是这样，只是这样子的一种生物而已。事实上，这个章鱼呢 possess 就是拥有的意思拥有很多 interesting 有趣的 qualities 就是一些特质一些特性然后呢 and are much smarter than they appear 比他们看起来还要聪明很多。
Indeed, Octopus intelligence is something scientists have been studying for many years.
好，的确，这个章鱼的 intelligence， 他们的智力，他们的智慧is something that 这个 that 省略掉，是这个东西，这个东西怎么样？是科学家 have been studying 已经研究了 for many years， 研究很多年了。所以换句话说，章鱼的智慧呢，是多年来科学家持续研究的一个对象。
Octopuses are widely considered to be the most intelligent of all invertebrates, animals without a backbone or bony skeleton.
所以章鱼呢，它是 widely considered 被广泛的被认为是considered 这里就是 regard as 的意思他们被广泛的认为是 the most intelligent 是最聪明的 of all 所有的怎么样 invertebrates 就是无脊椎的动物那它这个字呢，它后面括号这个解释一下，怕有的人不认识这个字。那这种所谓无脊椎动物就是 animals without a backbone 就是没有脊椎的动物，或者是没有怎么样 bony skeleton skeleton 这个字本来是骨骼的意思它本来就是 a framework of bone。那你在前面有一个 bone 的话呢 bony 就是 consisting of bone 的意思，就讲得很清楚，就是它没有骨架的意思或者它所谓无脊椎就是它没有脊椎或者它没有骨架的这样的动物。
They are able to learn from experience and have excellent short and long-term memories.
Learn from experience 就是从经验中学习所以他们可以有这个能力 They are able to 他们有能力可以从经验中学习，而且他们有 excellent 有很棒的 short and long term 有短期的有长期的 memories。They
can solve complex problems, such as opening a jar while trapped inside it, and often think up interesting games to play when they are bored. And I have a very vivid picture in my mind of an octopus using its tentacles to twist the cover open of a jar, and they are very, very agile at it. Agile, A-G-I-L-E. A-G-I-L-E 就是手很灵巧。
很灵巧。好，所以呢，这个地方我们可以看到说，他们可以solve， 他们可以解决complex problems 复杂的问题。complex 跟 complicated 这两个字都是复杂的意思。那 complex 比较感觉是纠结成一团，你很难理出那个头绪，那个 complex
繁杂，
很繁杂。那 complicated 它指的是它组成分子之间常常会互相牵扯影响的这种复杂。
Yeah. And it's usually more negative.
通常是比较负面的。所以例如说别人问你说，你看起来好，这个事情好像你是不是有烦恼啊？你跟我讲一下吧。你可能会说 Well, it's complicated.
That's very popular these days. It's been popular over the past 20 years or so.
Yeah.
Especially when you say, well, what's your relationship status? It's complicated.
Yeah, 这个时候意思就是什么呀？就是这个很复杂，什么样复杂？就是牵来牵去的各种可能的彼此影响，所以不是那么好讲清楚的。这个时候你不会说 it's complex complex 的话很奇怪，就是好像非常的复杂的，你的关系非常的这个纠结在一起那种。
Or it sounds more objective or scientific when you say complex.
Oh yeah, 那 complex 听起来比较客观，比较像科学所以他们可以解决一些复杂的问题例如说他们会开罐子这个圆形的罐子 jar while trapped inside it 这很厉害，他们被困在罐子里面，他还有办法把它打开来，
要从下面把它转开来，
他有办法把它转开来，非常厉害。那或者他们也常常怎么样 they 省略掉了 often 前面有一个 they， 他们也常常 think up 就想出来一些 interesting games 一些有趣的游戏，干嘛呢 to play 来玩。to play 你可以说是一个不定词片语修饰这个 games。 那 when they are bored 他会觉得无聊，这就是很聪明了。
Animals in general like to play.
Yeah.
I recently read about rats. They were trained to play hide and seek, and they love the game.
Wow. 所以 Karen 老师最近读到这个有人训练老鼠去玩躲迷藏结果他们非常喜欢。Yeah.
They jump around and then they call out. They just love playing whenever they see the trainer coming to play.
Yeah.
Also of note is that each of an octopus's 8 arms has a mind of its own.Of
note 就是 important Also of note is that 各位可以把它整个学起来，就是另外一件很重要的事情是什么？后面加子句Also of note is that 每一只这个章鱼的8只手它这用 arms， 章鱼的8只手的每一只呢都有自己的心思 has a mind of its own. Yeah.
Okay, and they're usually actually or technically called tentacles. T-E-N-T-A-C-L-E plural S. T-E-N-T-A-C-L-E-S. Tentacles is the technical term for it.
我们通常翻成触角。Yeah.
For example, their arms can open clamshells while the octopus itself is busy searching a cave for more food.
所以它会 multitask， 非常厉害。
Yeah, multitasking.
Yeah, 所以这个地方呢，你可以看到他说，这个例如呢，他们的手呢可以打开这个 clamshells 就是蛤蜊的那个壳他们要吃里面的蛤蜊，他开那个壳。同时呢，章鱼自己呢，他忙着干嘛？他在找 searching a cave 去搜索一个洞穴 for more food， 目的是要找更多的食物。所以 you search a place for something 就是去这个地方搜索，希望能找到那个东西。所以他一边已经要准备要吃蛤蜊了，另外一边呢，他还可以去搜索看有没有更多的食物。
Their arms are also covered in powerful suckers, which have the ability to taste whatever they are touching.
他们的手背也布满了很有力的吸盘 suckers 就是吸盘那这个就有这个能力可以干嘛呢 taste 尝到味道 whatever they are touching 不管他们碰到什么东西他们都可以用他们的吸盘去用他们的手背去感受一下这大概是什么味道。
Another interesting fact about octopuses is that they have 3 hearts and blue blood.The blue blood is not so surprising, but I didn't know about the 3 hearts.
所以他们另外一个让我们觉得很有趣的这个事实是他们有3颗心脏，然后血液是蓝色的。所以这个 another interesting fact about octopuses is that 这个跟上面那个 also of note is that 各位可以把它画起来连在一起，这就是不同的介绍的方式就等它带出一个新的论点的时候的介绍方式。
Their blood, which is copper rather than iron-based,is more efficient at transporting oxygen when water temperatures drop.
他们的血液which is copper 就是含铜而不是怎么样 iron based 而不是以铁为基底的也换句话说它血是含铜而不是含铁的is more efficient 更有效率 at 在哪方面更有效率呢？在 transporting 在这个 运送 oxygen 运送氧气方面更有效率，尤其是 when water temperatures drop 当水温下降的时候。那各位注意这个水温下降这个 temperatures 通常是复数，因为它不会是只有一个温度。
Perhaps even more interesting is that octopuses often crawl or walk along the ocean floor instead of swimming, which takes up far more energy. And this makes me think of my own life, things that I do to save energy. Instead of swimming, that really takes a lot of effort.
所以也许他说更有趣的事情是，章鱼呢常常会 crawl crawl 是爬行或者是 crawl 跟 creep 差不多，不过 creep 有的时候感觉起来比较这个 slower 一点
and with smaller steps.
而且那个脚步速度会慢一点，那是 creep。那 crawl 的话是稍微快一点然后他们也或者是 walk， 甚至他们会走路，各位大概都看过这样的影片along the ocean floor， 在沿着海底顺着海底走路，而不会游泳 instead of swimming， 因为which 就是指着 swimming， 游泳呢 takes up， 它会占用 far more energy， 它会占用更多的能量。
If you've never seen an octopus in the wild, it may be due to their amazing camouflage abilities.
如果你从来没有看过这个 in the wild， 它是在野生环境里面的意思如果你没有在野生环境看过章鱼的话 ，it may be due to 有可能是因为 due to 是因为是怎么样？因为他们的 amazing， 他们令人惊奇的这 camouflage abilities， 他们的伪装的能力所以不见得是你没有碰到章鱼，而是你可能碰到了根本没看出来它是章鱼。
Octopuses can change the color of their skin to match their environment.
好，所以章鱼呢，它可以改变它皮肤的颜色，其实不只是 color， 还有 texture 它的那个质地都可以改变。这我们之前有篇文章也是我们常春藤的文章有讲到这一点他们可以改变颜色，改变质地来 match their environment， 和他们的环境搭配或者是配合。match 就是搭配或者配合。
If this doesn't keep them hidden from predators, they can also spray a toxic ink that blinds and confuses anyone that might pose a threat.
所以他还不是只有这一招而已他说如果这样子伪装了还没有办法 keep them hidden from predators， 没有办法让他们这个保持 keep them hidden 保持隐藏的状态 from predators 让掠食者看不到。换句话说，如果这样子还没有办法让掠食者说没看到就算了，如果还是继续掠食者追着他们的话，他们也可以 spray 就是喷洒一个 toxic 就是有毒的 poisonous 的一个 ink， 那这个 toxic ink 会 blinds 会使它眼盲，而且会 confuses 会让你觉得突然之间觉得到底发生什么事情了，很迷糊那 anyone that might pose a threat， pose a threat 就是形成威胁你有时候也可以说 present a threat但在这里 pose a threat 就是形成威胁的意思。
We have 4 quick questions for you. Number 1, which of the following was not mentioned in the passage?
好，底下哪一个在文章里面没有提到呢？
The answer is A, an octopus's favorite food. Now, they did mention that an octopus will open clamshells, but we don't know that it's its favorite food.
那答案是 A， 他没有提到章鱼最喜欢的食物，他有提到章鱼要去打开那蛤蜊可是他并没有说这是章鱼最喜欢的食物。
2, according to the second paragraph, which of the following is true about octopus arms?
根据第二段，关于章鱼触手下列哪一项是正确的？
The answer is C, they can think for themselves.
答案是 C， 他们可以自己思考。
Number 3, why do octopuses tend to crawl along the sea bottom?
为什么章鱼通常会在海底爬行呢？
The answer is D, crawling consumes less energy than swimming.
答案是 D， 爬行消耗的体力比游泳还要少。
And finally 4 kids are talking about their pet octopuses. According to the information from the passage, who is obviously lying?
有4个小孩在谈论自己的宠物章鱼，根据本文所提供的资讯，请问谁显然是在说谎呢？
The answer is D, Lisa. My octopus broke a bone in one of its arms.
好，答案是 D Lisa， 因为她说我的章鱼有一只触手的骨头断了。
Now we know that octopuses do not have bones, so that's obviously a lie. That is it for today. Tune in next time.